So how do you plan your answers for GCSE English creative writing? So for narrative writing or descriptive writing, we know that planning is very important, but how do you do it? Well, there's a few things that I hear students do that makes me afraid for them in their exams. One of them is they think that they need to just plan their beginning, middle and end. And of course, for a narrative, you definitely need a beginning, middle and end. And for a description, you need an opening, a middle and a closing. But that's not sufficient. Another thing which is a big red flag is when I hear students say that their teachers have told them to memorize stories that they've written. Now, the reason why this is a problem is because if you can't remember what you've written, if you can't remember that story or that description, you might panic, and as a result of that, it's going to hinder your chances to score full marks in the exam. Another issue with that is if it doesn't fit the prompts, then what I see happen is really capable students trying to force an answer that doesn't fit, and as a result, they lose marks because, again, examiners are looking for you to answer the question. Now, that's not to say that practicing writing stories and descriptions is unimportant. Of course, you definitely should do that. And it's absolutely fine for you to use ideas from previous stories or vocabulary or phrases or imagery or anything like that. That's absolutely fine to do. Of course, you want to do that. But what you don't want to do is think, oh, I need to memorize this and try and regurgitate that in the exam. So this leads me then to how do you plan? Now, it's going to take practice to do this, but you want to remember get caps, okay? Get caps. Now, what does that stand for? It stands for genre. Genre is the style of the writing. And this makes perfect sense. Think about it. You will have your favorite genre of film, book, music. And the reason why you love that genre is because it has a particular style, it has a particular flow, and by knowing your genre, it allows you to write in that consistent style. It allows you to use what we call literary tropes. These are familiar ideas and images that relate to that genre. So it helps you to write in that consistent style. The second thing you want to do is think about the effect. How do you want your reader to feel as they read your story or description? And you want to think about how you want them to feel in the opening, the beginning, the middle, the end, closing. Okay, and you want to be very clear. So it might be to feel tense or to feel frightened or for them to feel relieved. Okay, and you want to have 3 distinct emotions, and that's regardless of your genre. So even if you have a horror genre, what you don't want to have is just scared all the way through, because that would be boring. Think of it like this: the reason why you love your favorite films or stories is because you go on an emotional journey. You want to go like this. What you don't want to do is just have one long emotion all the way through, because that would be monotonous, it would be boring. And actually, you'll probably have the opposite effect of what you intended. So, for example, if you wanted, if you're writing a horror and you want them to feel scared all the way through, well, it's unlikely because you can't sustain that. You might want them to feel, tense or relieved, and then, that ultimate like jump scare or fear or whatever it is with the plot twist. Okay, so you want to plan